Good morning. Welcome to the Greenville Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. My name is Sean Trapp, and I serve this congregation as its president elect. Whether you've been with us on Sundays for a long time or visiting us for the first time today, we welcome you to our service. This congregation is a theologically diverse religious community with participation open to all who agree to live in our principles, mission, and values. We are a welcoming congregation to people of all sexual orientations and gender identities, races, ethnicities, and abilities, and we unconditionally welcome you as your full, authentic self to our community of caring and commitment to grow as spiritual and moral beings. Our congregational mission is to strengthen our connections to one another and to our planet by enlivening minds and spirits, building community through liberating love, and advocating fiercely for justice. It is a custom in this congregation to acknowledge visitors and newcomers. If this is your first time here, would you mind raising your hand so we can acknowledge you? Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. All are invited to join us for coffee after the service. New and newer folks are invited to grab a green mug located inside the door of the fellowship hall so we can easily spot you and speak to you during our coffee hour. You are also welcome to fill out one of the green cards that can be found on the backs of the pews so that we can keep in touch with you. Simply drop the card in the offering basket or in the box at the welcome table in the foyer. Please know that whatever your religious history, whatever your personal theology, all people of goodwill are welcome here. Your presence makes us better. Your presence makes us whole. And now, a word from our sponsors.
Good morning, Goof. I'm Lucy, and I'm heading up the auction for 2024 this year. We have a great team, but I'm here to recruit you. Please don't make me come after you. I'm using my mother voice. So please, we want to get your item donations by the end of the month. Do not wait until September 29th, please. So clean out your closets. Think of some fun events. I hear there was a great hot sauce event yesterday that a lot of folks, and they survived. So they live to tell the tale. But please see us after during coffee hour. We'll be outside if you have any more questions about the app, donations, etc. Thank you so much.
Good morning. We light our chalice as a symbol of the light within us and the life that flows through the world around us. It is our beacon as we search for the truth. It is the warmth in our hearts for love, and it is the energy that propels us into action. May we be kindled by our time together.
Good morning, Goof. I'm the Reverend Chris Hockman. I would like to welcome you all to our service this morning. In case you are visiting, especially for the first time, I need to tell you that we don't always do our service this way. You have stumbled upon one service a year that is particularly a unique tradition for us. And the good news is you don't have to sit through a sermon. Today, we will be sharing our water communion, a ritual that will be explained a little bit later, and everyone is welcome to participate. Our call to worship this morning is from the Reverend Molly Hausch Gordon. We gather together this morning tenderly, like drops of dew on a leaf of grass, hopefully, like gathered raindrops in a cloud, gleefully, like water rushing in a stream to the sea, deeply, like groundwater pulled up from a well. We gather from every direction for another year of growth and depth, another year of companionship and hope, another year of learning to love this world. We gather like the water that joins us across all of creation, the water that connects us within and without, merging and flowing across the entire world. Come, let us worship together. Please rise in body or spirit for hymn 1046 in the Teal hymnal, continuing the water theme, Shall We Gather at the River?
Good morning. I'm David Funderburk. I'm the Director of Religious Education at Goof, and I'm excited to tell you that next week will be the first day for our fall season of religious education classes. So I look forward to all the children and youth being able to go back to their classes next week. And we still need a few volunteers to help us with classes. So if you think you might be able to volunteer once or twice a month this year in our religious education classes, please come talk with me in the fellowship hall at coffee hour. And if you're a parent or a kid and you want to learn what we're going to be doing this year, you can come talk to me in the fellowship hall at coffee hour about that too. So I welcome children or youth or anyone of any age who would like to come up and hear the story today up close, to come sit in the front pews with the choir or on the floor here in front of the steps. Welcome. Now, if you happened to be here 2 years ago for our water communion, you may recognize the story I'm about to tell. But I assure you that the story will be different this time because you are different. So don't worry about the repetition. So today's story is a story about our congregation. Did you know that our congregation, the Greenville Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, is made up of around 60% water? That may surprise you, but it should be quite obvious. You see, our congregation is made up of you. It's made up of people. And people are made up of about 60% water. According to H. Mitchell in the Journal of Biological Chemistry, I'm going to get a little sciencey here. The brain and the heart are composed of 73% water. The lungs are about 83% water. Your skin contains 64% water. Your muscles and kidneys are around 79% water. And even your bones are watery. Your bones are about 31% water. So your body, and therefore this congregation, is made up of mostly water. So let's take a moment to think about the story of that water. Where did it come from? What shapes has that water taken in the past? That water in your body perhaps once was in a cloud hovering over the Blue Ridge Mountains. Perhaps it was once in a rushing river, crashing into boulders and tumbling over the water. Perhaps the water in your body was once part of the frozen glaciers that carved out the Great Lakes. Consider that, oh, come on up, join us. We've got some more water coming up. Consider that the water in your body was once part of an elephant, or a majestic live oak tree, or even a brontosaurus. Consider that the water in your body was once part of a tiny frog hopping into a puddle. Consider that the water in your body was once part of a snowflake falling over the North Pole, or a monsoon storm blowing over the Indian Ocean. Imagine all of the places that the water in our bodies has been. And all of this water connects all of us. And it connects us to all of those things. So I want you to think about of which one of these watery ancestors you feel the most like right now. Notice how you feel in your body right now. This is something I sometimes ask people at the beginning of a meeting or the beginning of a class before they introduce themselves, and it leads to a little bit of a silly icebreaker. So here's how it works. I may ask the group, can you please sit back, please? I may ask the group to think about what type of water you feel like right now. And then introduce yourself to the group with your name, what type of water you feel like, and some sort of physical motion that illustrates how you feel. So let me give you an example. Once I started a class and a man named Michael introduced himself like this. My name is Michael, and I am a wave on the ocean building with excitement until I break upon the shore. And this is the fun part that sometimes feels silly. Everyone else in the group would just repeat back to them what they said. They'd say, "My name is Michael, and I feel like a wave building with anticipation before I break on the shore." And that lets everyone else in the room get a chance to try to experience how Michael feels. Then another woman named Leslie shared, "I feel like a warm, gentle rainfall bouncing off the leaves." And everyone repeated, "My name is Leslie, and I feel like a warm, gentle rainfall bouncing off the leaves." And then a friend named Alex themselves, how they felt, and they said, "My name is Alex, and I feel like a puddle of mud slowly evaporating in the sun." And everyone repeated, "My name is Alex, and I feel like a puddle of mud slowly evaporating in the sun." Do you get the idea? So, in a moment, but not yet, I'm going to ask you to try this out. You'll turn to the person next to you, especially if it's someone that you don't know very well or you've never met before. And I want you to introduce yourself to them with your name and what type of water you feel like right now, and give a little motion to it. And then after you share that, they can repeat right back to you to try to get a sense of how you feel right now. And we'll give everyone a chance to share. Does that sound good? Okay. So go ahead and try it. If you need to stand up to do this so you can really embody the water you feel like, go ahead. Do you want to try that? Of craziness? How would you? How? How are you? What water do you feel like? What's that? A little bit nervous. I wonder what type of water would be nervous. Like a little ripple in a pond. Yeah, I feel like that's sense. That makes sense to me. Thanks for sharing with me. Now, it may be easy for this to just turn into a lovely conversation. But if that's what's happening, let's save the conversation for the fellowship hall. Has everyone been able to share themselves with someone? Some people have I think probably have a very detailed explanation for how they feel right now. So it's worth remembering that we are all made out of the same stuff. It's also worth remembering that that stuff can take many different forms, and it can change over time. So any given moment, each of us is bringing something unique and different to our community. And it's definitely worth checking in with your neighbors to see what the state of things are, what shape they're in right now. So thank you for letting me share, and thank you for sharing. Now, if y'all can all head back to your seats with your families, we can go on with the service.
And now it's time for the offering. The purpose of the church is to encourage all who gather here to grow more generous in spirit and in action. This is the great end of all the world's faith traditions, to bring the human being closer to the divine by acts of creation and compassion. We now take an offering that allows us to exercise that all-important generosity of spirit, an offering that will support this self-supporting fellowship and its many ministries. The gifts of the congregation will be most gratefully received. It is our custom in this congregation to share the joys and the sorrows that shape our lives, honoring each one with the lighting of a candle. We recognize that life is not always easy, and that we all have moments of celebration and struggle. By sharing these experiences with one another, we can support and uplift each other as we navigate the significant events of our lives. Our first one is from Priscilla. The UU Fellowship of Clemson recently lost one of their most active and involved members, Melissa Berger Afragola, and yesterday had a celebration of her life. Please keep everyone there in your thoughts as they deal with her loss. And next we have one that is not signed. I just came to Greer to help my daughter Samantha and her husband take care of my 4-month-old grandson. That is my great joy. And my sorrow is that I am still grieving the loss of my husband Paul last year. Next to joy, great news. I got my new hearing aids yesterday. No more lip reading from Sally Hattig. Yeah. And finally, may God's love expand and transform warriors into peaceful and loving souls. And now we will light one final candle representing all the joys and sorrows present in our hearts that remain unspoken. We'll now observe a brief moment of silence before the meditation words begin.
Our words for meditation this morning are from the poem In Praise of Water by John O'Donohue. Let us bless the humility of water, always willing to take the shape of whatever otherness holds it. The buoyancy of water, stronger than the deadening downward drag of gravity. The innocence of water flowing forth without thought of what awaits it. The refreshment of water, dissolving the crystals of thirst. Water, voice of grief, cry of love in the flowing tear. Water, vehicle and idiom of all the inner voyaging that keeps us alive. Blessed be water, our first mother. The water we will mingle together today is a symbol of our life in this community we call the Greenville Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. The ritual that we call water communion shows how each of us brings something different, something special and important to the life we share. The life of a community is created one tiny bit at a time, just as water is a gathering of single drops, creating one larger whole. We grow our community one drop at a time. This community comes to life for you as it does for all of us when you pour yourself in. So now the logistics, where I become the flight attendant. I ask those who would like to pour water to line up on the far left and the far right. We will have an usher on each side to help guide you from there. You don't have to stand there the whole time. Just proceed, to the lines a few at a time as you're ready. And if you did not bring water today, we have a pitcher for you to pour from. People pouring water will proceed to the microphones one at a time when your usher sends you. As the person at one microphone is finished speaking and moves to pour their water, the next person will proceed from the other side, just so we can kind of keep things moving. And after you pour your water, please exit down the center aisle. And if it's easier for you to stay put, just raise your hand and David will be the master of the microphone. He will bring it to you and I will pour the water on your behalf. All right, now the assignment. When you come up to the microphone, please share your name and a word or phrase about what your open mind, loving heart, or helping hands are bringing to our fellowship this year. For example, it could be something really concrete, or it could be hope or joy or singing or smiles or volunteering. You are welcome to use your own creativity. If you are visiting or newer to our community, you are welcome to participate by telling us something you would like to bring, or perhaps something you would just like to bring to the community or the larger world this year. All right, I think that's it. And of course, you can tell us where your water's from, too. All right, and I will begin by pouring a sample of our ongoing sample of water from water communions past. I'm going to ask the ushers, we'll be ready to come forward. We're ready for you to proceed to the aisles. Okay, you're doing that. Good.
Well, I didn't think I would be first.
Hurt your ears. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. I am Alicia. Hello, everyone. What I bring: connection, friendliness, and being open to change. And the water is moon water set with intention.
Hi, I'm Walter. I wasn't sure I would come up here at all because I didn't bring water, and then I realized I brought some tears. As I take in this beautiful service and all the beauty that surrounds me, and I hope in the coming year I can pay some of that forward.
I'm Linda Molnar, and I bring pretend water from the Rhone River in Provence, where Don and I went on a bike and barge trip this summer, and also from the River Cam, which is in Cambridge, where I grew up in England. And I bring hope and some joy, I hope, and some hope for peace for the future. Let's hope the right person wins.
Hi, my name is Letitia Short. I bring excitement and energy to the fellowship. I want to share it as much as I can. And this is water from the Saluda River, on which I live, which becomes a lake and then becomes a river again.
I'm Sean Trapp, the president-elect, and I hope over the next couple of years to bring gratitude for all that you do.
I'm Sarah Fletcher. I bring virtual water from a visit to Chautauqua, New York, and to Colorado. And I bring an urgency that you and all that you know and all that you'd like to know will vote.
I'm Gail Glover, and I will pour water that's virtually from the St. Lawrence River, where I celebrated this summer. And I bring joyful, plentiful participation.
I'm Jan Humphrey. I bring water from Chile, Los Angeles, and the family cottage on Black Oak Lake, Wisconsin. And I bring myself, friendship, and acceptance.
My name is Ken Elder. I pour from the pitcher. I declare this to be holy water, blessing all of us.
My name is James. My wife Melissa is our son Imris. We bring water from the artesian spring that grants us water at our house and is absolutely delicious. And we bring new enthusiasm in the form of this little guy.
We're the Tabors, and we bring family and love and volunteer and support.
I'm Petra Tabor, and I bring sing and hope to this community.
We're Jerry and Josephine, and we bring cup from a rehab hospital that represents a continued recovery after a very scary health scare earlier this year. And we bring with us, hopefully like any good camper, the desire to leave the woodpile higher than we found it.
And I bring a gratefulness, and by the way, I was the one in the hospital for 23 days, but I bring a gratefulness that our water, our tap water, tastes so darn good.
Also represents a dedication to staying hydrated.
Good morning. My name, excuse me. Good morning. My name is Anne Marie. I'm new among you. I bring virtual water from a beautiful place called Gilbert Lake in upstate New York, and I hope to have a more generous and grateful heart this year.
Hi, my name is Hi, my name is Andrea. I bring openness, vulnerability, connection, and hopefully some decent jokes, and just keeping it light and fun. My water is from my house, my Brita, and this is how I drink my water every day.
Hi, I'm Candy Kern, and I bring water from our 400-foot well that tastes awesome, and it represents our water for this year and hope for more mobility and more involvement over the next year.
Hi, I'm Nicole Sikora Hashong, and I bring virtual water from St. Helena Island, South Carolina, which was a spot of incredible growth and freedom after much struggle for our country, and hoping for progress, growth, and freedom even more so for all of us.
My name is Miles, and I bring water from the Grand River in Grand Rapids, where this summer I went on vacation and saw my favorite band, Fish, staying on the water theme. And it reminds me to stay in the moment and to enjoy the people that you are around in that moment, because you never know how long you can be with them.
We're Jeanette and Marshall Wynn. We bring community. And we bring water from Lac Annecy in France, one of our favorite places.
I'm Malcolm Munson. I bring virtual water from Panama City Beach, where I vacationed this past June. And I'd like to contribute a couple of things. Ideas for the humanist discussion group and some leadership and some monitoring of the meditation group.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Matlack. I bring water virtually from a very always freezing cold Lake Michigan. And I'd like to contribute further toward an awareness of animal sentience throughout this year.
My name is Alice, and I'm going to pour virtual water to represent the waters that I put my hands and feet in everywhere around here. The water here is magic, and I could not give you one place. I have to give them all. The waters here are amazing. And I hope to share how amazing the upstate is with everybody here.
My name is Grace. I only bring the water in my being, but I hope to bring authenticity to the community, especially when it's uncomfortable.
I'm Priscilla Phillips, and I bring my virtual water from the New River in Virginia and from Claytor Lake State Park, where I actually, with the help of Susie Friends, did stand-up paddleboarding this summer on that lake.
Would anyone like us to bring a microphone to you? Okay, this was very efficient. Now I'm going to pour water for all of our congregants viewing us online today, as they are also very important and valued members of this congregation.
I also want to mention before I pour a little water in there that our table today, if you notice the decorations on it, were created by our youth group at their Wednesday night meeting. So thank you for our youth group and our youth director, Stephen Chilato, for pouring the table. So I'm going to pour a little more water in just for continued creativity this year.
Thank you all so much. We will do our official blessing of the water during the close of our service. But for right now, we're going to sing again. Please rise and body your spirit to sing I've Got Peace Like a River.
Please join me in the words printed in our program as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Please join me in the blessing of our communion water. I will speak some lines, and when I cue you, please respond, "This water is sacred." Let's give it a try. This water is sacred. You got it. This water is made sacred by the many hands that have poured it with intention and love, the many stories that each drop contains, the many lives surrounding it in this unique moment, connected by commitment and faith. This water is sacred. May it continue to flow through this community with shining reflections of the unique gifts that flow through each of its members. This water is sacred. May it continue to nurture this community with sustaining hope that we journey together through ripples of growth and change. This water is sacred. May it continue to bless this community with loving reminders of our collective responsibility to one another and the world. This water is sacred. May its ripples be a reminder that the changes and growth within this community bring movement and transformation to the world beyond our doors. This water is sacred. May its purity offer grace to our community and the willingness to forgive ourselves and one another when we make mistakes. This water is sacred. In moments when we are confused or uncertain, may it bring us clarity of purpose and commitment. This water is sacred. In moments when the reservoirs of hearts and spirits are drained by sorrow or pain, may it nourish them with the knowledge that we are surrounded by a deep and abundant love. This water is sacred. Good job. Dear ones, go in peace, return in love, and blessed be.